placing what? Okay. And where's my axis? Okay, kind of right at the chromium process. Okay. And my stable arm is going to do what? Okay. And I'm going to keep it what? To the floor. Perpendicular. My moving arm is going to do what? Follow her through. So I'm going to ask her to go ahead and raise your arm up as high as you can. Try to keep it stable. I should really be in a seat. Can you come up higher? Okay, higher. Stretch. Okay, so my moving arm should be where? Where at?
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay, my stable arm is still where? Okay. Alrighty. Good, good? You guys ready to try that one?
Yes.
Try it. Okay, so you can go ahead and bring it out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ask her to raise her arm up as high as she can. Okay. What was that? Oh, go, 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 go. Up, 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 up. As high as you can. Is that as high as you can go? Okay, when I'm done, my moving arm should be right in the middle of your humerus. Okay? My stationary arm should be right down her back. It should be nice and perpendicular. It should be nice and straight. So I'm going to something that looks very similar to this. Okay? If you've got it this way or you've got it that way, obviously you've moved it. It should be nice and perpendicular. Okay. So come back up again. Now, if you're good and you can remember what this measurement was, go ahead and come on up again. Then you can go ahead and have her move into adduction. Okay? Go ahead and come back down. Good. Now, I'm not going to get her to full 0 because her arm's in the way, but she's able to come back down and she's able to touch, so I'm going to put her at 0. Okay? So, and I think you had like 165 to 0. So this measurement would read what? 0 to 165. Up here would be 165 to 0. Good. Now, if you do it in the front, okay, yeah, I know. All right, so you're going to come right up in this area. I'm going to have to hold it further away, okay? So I have to kind of eyeball it. Go ahead and come up. I realized who I chose afterwards. I love you though, okay? And then I'm going to also follow her back down, okay? But I'm getting play because I'm moving, okay? So I love Natalie, but I would definitely do her on the back, okay? But you can do either way. Either way is acceptable. Okay, so that's ab and adduction. So it's not horizontal that we're doing. We're not doing horizontal. Okay, and the palms should be in what position? The hand. Supinated. Why?
Because it gives you less restriction.
Gives you less restriction is less likely to cause what? Intimate. You can do it either way. You'll clinically see it either way, but for our purposes, I'd actually like you to start with at the side because if you have someone, if you're starting in shoulder flexion, now your patient actually has to have enough strength, okay, enough energy to be able to hold that shoulder in that flexed position, and then you're asking them to do this. And then also, what do we have a little bit of going on in there? Well, we have some excursion things going on because now I've asked them to do this, and I'm asking them to do this. It's not going to play a huge role at that point like it would in the wrist and the hands, but it could a little bit. So, elbow extension, flexion, at the side. Aisha, almost said it wrong again. Stand up. Okay, so tell me where I'm going to be.
No. Shoulder. I mean, elbow.
Not going to find your elbow. You kind of got a big
baggy shirt on.
But no, you're okay. Let's hit the front for a minute. Okay. So my arm should be where?
You move it in the center of the humerus.
Humerus. Okay. And this arm should be between the two what bones? Good. Good job. Okay. And then I'm going to ask her to move into flexion. Go ahead and move into flexion. And I'm going to follow her up. Okay. My axis is still at the elbow. My movable arm is through the axis of her ulna and her radius, correct? Stable arm is at the humerus. I can't read, 142, I think. Can't see. Okay. If you can remember that and you want to wait to write it down, then I'm going to ask her to do what?
Straighten her arms.
Extend. Go ahead and extend your elbow. Okay. far as I can. I'm still at 0. I'm sorry, I'm still at between the humerus, between the radii and the ulna, and I have 0. So she has, how would I write that? Elbow flexion would be what?
0 to 1.
0 to 1.
42.
And then extension would be?
142 to 0.
142 to 0. Yes. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. Okay, scenario 2, we have elbow flexion extension. What do we have here? Oh, forearm supination pronation. Who did I steal this from, by the way? From you guys? No? Sorry. All right, somebody's missing one. I'll lay it here for right now. Okay, so we have our medium or smaller one on this chart. Yes, as far as I know, Carly said if they're here, check them out. I would say check them out.
It's funny.
Okay, medium. What is my positioning for this? Okay. My shoulder is what? Adducted. Okay. My elbow is flexed to about what degrees? 90. My forearm is where? Neutral. Okay. You also should keep the wrist at neutral as much as possible too. Okay, because sometimes you'll see people and they'll go into flexion or extension to turn. Okay, that's going to change things. Todd, come in, stand up. Okay, so I'm going to have him, if he has a watch on, I'm going to ask him to do what? No, it's going to fall off. Okay, so he has his elbow tucked in at his side. Okay, he's in a good position. Where does my axis go for supination?
The ulna?
Ulna. The ulna. Yep. Yep. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of a bad. Okay. So if I have him here, my axis is going to be. Oops, my bad. It's going to be right about the ulna, right at the wrist level. Okay. Right here. I'm going to ask him to turn his palm up. Go ahead and turn it up. And then I'm going to follow him over. Okay. So my my stationary arm is what? Perpendicular. A little off there. Perpendicular to the floor. Okay. This arm is going to come up and over. What do I have? I'm actually going to pop him up because I want it to sit flush. It should sit flush against the skin. So he's at about 60, about 70. He's pretty good. Okay, so let's do that again. Elbow at your side. Okay. Axis is at the ulna, just a little bit proximal to the wrist crease. Okay. Perpendicular, or sorry, stable arm is perpendicular. Go ahead and come up. Okay, this one you have to kind of adjust a little bit because you really want that arm to lay flat. Okay, again, I got 70, so he's pretty consistent. Okay, so opposite is what? From pronation is? Supination. So I'm going to start him where?
Wait, I just did supination.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say that? Opposite supination would be?
Pronation.
Pronation. Where's his wrist and his forearm?
Same position.
Same position. So where am I going to put my axis this time?
On the lateral side on the ulna.
Okay, so I'm still on the ulna. Okay, just proximal to the styloid process here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him. Oh, I did that again. I'm going to ask him to. I'm sorry, I'm doing this backwards so you guys can see it. I'm going to come around this way. Okay, so I'm going to ask him to do what? To pronate. Okay, and I'm going to follow him up and over. It should be flush against the skin. You might have to adjust it slightly. Perpendicular arm, or stable arm, is perpendicular to the floor. Okay, and I have, I'm backwards, 75, so he's got a little bit more. Now, what is some of the things I'm going to watch for? Because what's he actually going to be using? Internal rotation, yeah. So you want to watch that. And for supination, what you'll see is you'll see people do this.